James, your former teammate, Davante Adams, your former teammate, Aaron Rodgers. Remember, last time we saw Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, we saw 2 MVPs from Aaron Rodgers. Not good play, great play. So I'm going to ask you, will it matter, James Jones?
Will it matter?
Has your faith, your Super Bowl faith, been restored in the Jets?
You know what, man? I was, after the meeting, I was sitting there, and I said, nah, in the meeting.
You did? You said no with your chest,
You better believe it. You better believe it.
Good. That's the James I know.
No. Yes. Yes. You know what I'm saying? I'm going with my 2 dogs that I played with that I know when they are on the field at the same time, it is problems. I'm telling you right now. If Davante Adams was there, the Broncos game and the Minnesota game, they win those games. Strictly off of a couple plays because he's going to make the plays because Aaron Rodgers knows exactly what Davante Adams is going to do. They don't score 10 points against the Broncos with Davante Adams. If that ball is to Davante Adams in the 4th quarter in Minnesota, in London, they win that game as well, and we might be having a whole different conversation about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. So you better believe it. Davante Adams on the field with Garrett Wilson, with Alan Lazard, with Breece Hall, with Brace Allen. Super Bowl.
And so you're saying that it's just
you heard me? You heard me?
Wait, hold up.
Yeah. It's Wednesday.
Say it louder.
Get that wrapped up. Hey, sometimes these is a little loud. Super Bowl.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. That's where we're going.
That's where we're going.
The question, though, is for them to get to a Super Bowl, Chase Daniel, Aaron Rodgers would have to play at an MVP level. Not necessarily win MVP, but he has to play at an MVP level. Can Davante elevate Rodgers to MVP level?
No. I think Davante is a really good #1 receiver.
Of course.
Now, Rodgers hasn't played well. 2020 and 2021, he was the MVP with Davante Adams. It's 2024.
Yeah.
That's 3 and 4 years later, okay? So I like the way Aaron's playing right now. But the Jets as a whole have much bigger issues. They're undisciplined. Like, they had a bunch of miscues. They're bad in the red zone. They're bad in 3rd down. Now, I think Davante helps with the red zone specifically.
A lot.
You know, like big body target can get up there. They're middle of the pack in 3rd down. But I look at this team, and they got all the talent in the world, and they went out there and they made this trade because they think that they got Super Bowl aspirations. When you really pull back the curtain, though, they're just not a good team right now. They're 2 and 4. What I do like about it is the schedule sets up for them perfectly. Like, they really could win 4 of their next 5 and then have a bye week.
And then you'd be
but you're still
different.
sitting at 6 and 6.
But when you look at Rodgers specifically, though, like, don't talk to me about necessarily the team and the miscues and Rodgers specifically, can he get elevated because of
I don't think he can elevate a team, though. So you can't talk with one without saying the same. Like, Rodgers is only so good right now, and he's 40-41.
So really quick before they go. So you said undisciplined. Penalties been kicking their butt, right? And they still in these football games. We can't say these games came down to 1 or 2 plays by a what? Running back? By what?
Receiver?
And what they just get. So, no, for real, though. So when you talk about elevating Aaron Rodgers, why wouldn't it elevate Aaron Rodgers if the problems has been at receiver and you bring in a dude that you played 7+ years with and won 2 MVPs with? #2, I don't know if the world knows, but after each game, you get graded, right? I don't know if they did that in Philly, but you get a grade. You know what I mean?
We got graded.
So right now, going through this season, the way Aaron Rodgers is playing, what would you grade him?
He's a C+.
He's a C+. You think Davante gets him to a B or an A? Where do you think Davante take it?
B.
B.
Like a B, not a B+, B-. He gets him to a B. I'm gonna be real with you.
Hey, a lot of hate in your heart this morning.
I'm keeping it real.
Ain't nothing wrong with no B now. Hold up. What's
It's a
wrong
B.
with
A B is good.
Yo, listen, man. I get a B, yo.
MVP level's A.
Listen, I don't know about how he grading and all that, but I get a B. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to my mama bragging. You see that B?
He ain't gonna win your Super Bowl, though.
2-5, talk to me. You played with Patrick Mahomes. You played with Tom Brady.
He ain't dumb.
You played with Josh Allen. I'm saying you played with a lot of MVP-level quarterbacks. You know what it looks like, 2-5. You know what it looks like. Even Nick Foles one season had 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. As he started that whole year, he would have been MVP, too. He's a Super Bowl MVP. You played with 3 Super Bowl MVPs, big dog. You get it. Can Aaron Rodgers be elevated to MVP level with Davante Adams?
I wish you just asked me a question.
Keep it real.
You start doing all that.
Keep it real.
He can't be them dudes. He can't touch none of them guys we talking about today. But if I look at last year's MVP, Lamar Jackson, right?
Yeah.
He had 29 touchdowns total, 24 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing. He could do that. With Davante Adams, he could do that. You know why? When you look at the Jets, what are the weak points of the offense, right? I think Rodgers hasn't been as good as we thought he would be, right? But he still is really, really good. And then the wide receiver core. There's sometimes where miscommunications, it's not going to happen with Davante Adams. Drop passes is not going to happen with Davante Adams. Back shoulder passes, he's going to catch them.
Yeah.
All these targets that you giving Garrett Wilson, you give Davante Adams them targets, he going to come up with at least 85, maybe 90% of them targets. So I think he can elevate Aaron Rodgers. And the MVP, I mean, that's a title, right? I mean, it's a certain amount of players that play that great all the time. But if you look at this Lamar last year, I think he can do that. 24 touchdowns passing, right? Only, 9 or turnovers, something like that, 10 turnovers. He can do that. And another thing is, when you get a good defense, you're getting the ball over and over again. You're getting good field position. It just happens that the Jets can't convert. I think when you bring in that element of Davante Adams and that superstar quality, everybody's been paying attention to him. So now, Garrett Wilson, you don't get the number 1 cornerback on you, dog. You get the number 2. Right? And that matters, though. And the best part about the Jets, they can run the ball with 2 really good running backs. Yeah. So now, if I'm a D coordinator and you play defense, you know how hard and stressful that is, right? Now, oh my God, they just got one of the best receivers in the league. So, yes, I do think they can elevate this team.
Chase, I'm agree with Shady on this one. I think he can elevate him to MVP level for this reason. Rodgers, outside of that last play, he played an MVP level game last week. Remember, he had 2 touchdowns, 294 yards, ended with a pick. But if Davante's there and Garrett's there...
One of the touchdowns was a Hail Mary.
No doubt, but he's done that before over and over in his career. If Davante is there and Garrett is there, that pick ain't going to... It's not a pick. Instead, it's probably a 30 or 40-yard game. So now it's his first 300-yard game, and whether he scores a touchdown or not, I can't project and profess all of that. I do not know. But I know this much. He would have eclipsed 300 yards. He wouldn't have had a pick. He would have had 2 touchdowns, and they likely would have won the game. Like, Rodgers is not far off from MVP level in that game. He wasn't far off from MVP level 3 games ago, the game before the Broncos game. I believe it may have been the Tennessee Titans, but I'm doing this off the top of my head. Yeah, Titans game. Yeah. So I think we've seen glimmers, like we've seen quarters of MVP level performance. I think if Davante's there, Chase, we might be able to see a whole game of it, big dog.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get what you guys are saying. And I love
us 3. Okay, what?
Yeah, it's 3 against 1. I lie. It's all good, though. It's all good. It's all good. I'm gonna stick here because like I think that what you said, Shady, like Lamar Jackson, he can play to those stat levels, but Lamar and the Ravens last year were the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Jets are gonna be lucky to make the playoffs. Keep it real. Like they ain't getting the 1 seed. And MVP voting is like you got to be on a good team. You're a voter. You know better than anyone. I do think, though, what Davante Adams brings to Aaron, which he has not had, and it's been clear in the 5-6 games that they played, he doesn't have trust in any one of his receivers other than Allen Lazard. Him and Garrett Wilson are getting on the same page. That's what Davante brings. And I want to tell a story about Jeremy Maclin and what it means with quarterbacks trusting receivers. When I played with J-Mac at Mizzou, from a quarterback's perspective, when you know you got a guy down there that, 1, not going to let balls get intercepted, 2, will be at the same place at the same time that you've worked on and you have equity built up like Davante does, like J-Mac, I could throw it to him no matter what, we'd be on the same page. If the guy blitzed, he'd turn around, he'd be hot. You know, you showed the Mike Williams thing yesterday. Mike didn't look when he was hot. You just know that, and I think that's what makes Aaron Rodgers scary. To an MVP level, I don't know about that.
I want to add on to this real quick, because I think we're forgetting this element of football, right? Because we're sitting with the Bills. I know we were all happy about the Bills. Hey, they got rid of Stephon Diggs. Let's see what Josh Allen is. The 2 games, he looked amazing, right? But eventually you play against good teams, you need that superstar.
Dogs.
I think we're forgetting the fact that Davante Adams is a superstar. I don't want y'all to look at the Oakland games and the bad quarterback play and the bad offense that he ain't that guy, right? I interviewed Patrick Surtain. I said, yo, who's probably the toughest matchup? Without a doubt, he said, yo, Davante Adams. So you come into the Jets, right, where 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 2nd and 8. Who am I going to? 2 minutes. The game's on the line. Who's he going to? We want to say Garrett Wilson because he's probably the best wide receiver, but he hasn't been to that level yet. Davante, you call on me anytime, you know I'm going to deliver. Not only do they know it, the defense knows it. The defense knows it. So now I got to guard these dudes different. It's one thing about having an electrifying and elite wide receiver in this league. That matters,
You know what's
that
crazy,
matters.
though? You know what's crazy, though? Because it sounds like you're trying to come over here, but you just...
I'm not. I'm saying, but
this is all
right
I'm
here
saying.
in this chair, James Jones.
It's a couple things, right? Because we said elevate to an MVP level.
Right. Not MVP for the year.
correct.
Okay, right.
Elevate to the MVP level, right? So getting off the bus now, who you trying to stop?
Davante Adams.
Thank you, right? So that opens up the run game. And now you got number one corner, whoever it is, Pat Surtain, go wherever 17 go. All right, so now you already know, they taking Davante, maybe some safety up over the top. Garrett Wilson, it's your time to shine. Alan Lazard, it's your time to shine. So offensively, he makes Aaron Rodgers so much better. Not even talking about a chemistry aspect. And then let's just talk about if Davante still got it, because I think we do forget. Not a lot of primetime games in Las Vegas. So 2022, 100 catches, 1,500 yards, all right, 14 touchdowns.
I was on the field for 2
All
of those
pro.
games versus them.
All right,
So you've seen it then.
I've seen it live and in person.
Hold on. 2023, 103 catches, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns.
With what quarterback, too? It's like,
A bunch of them.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's the point I'm making.
So when you
Easy.
talk about elevating Aaron Rodgers to the MVP level, he elevated all these other quarterbacks to being even solid. And now you talking about getting with a first ballot Hall of Famer. Absolutely, he's going to elevate him to an MVP level. So I wish I know the block about to end, but I wish we can ask you again.
But I do want to mention, and I don't want you glossed over it, but I think it's actually so smart what you said. Davante Adams will make teams play the Jets differently.
1,000%.
And when I say that, they are going to be in much more too high shell safety looks, which you've seen across the league. That's where the run game gets going with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. So I think it makes the offense as a whole much better. It will not fix their biggest issue on offense outside receivers. It's that O-line. Aaron Rodgers is 41. He's getting hit all the time.
Has to play better.
It's been bad. It's not been talked about. We don't talk about O-line here a lot. That's a real thing. But when you do get to Davante Adams type guy, it changes the defensive's mindset going into a game. We got to play too high. We got to cloud Davante Adams. Garrett Wilson in the slot, we talked about yesterday, going to eat, right? Braylon Allen and Breece Hall, got to eat, but they got to run the football.
What's the best thing to help the O-line out?
Man, they got to get. They don't do
Run
it.
that rock. Run that rock.
And if they
don't think about it. Run that rock.
The first thing to help the O-line out is quit thinking about who you pass blocking, picking up protection. It's run game.
Come on, the best they've run it all year.
And if it's two high safeties, because Davante's is out there, then they can be able to run the ball. But I just look at the miscommunication when. Especially the empty pickup.
Yeah.
That's a big game for Davante Adams.
Yes.
So
I want to ask James real quick, because when I used to play Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay right now, I think we beat you a couple times.
we beat
But
y'all.
I want to notice, though, how hard is that to guard, though? Like that back shoulder pass, like everything will be locked up. The right side's locked up, the left side locked up, and somehow it's 3rd and 10 and 11 and a 12-yard pass. You covered him up. First day, like
even in zone.
The DBs are so frustrated with the back shoulder pass because it's unguardable, right? So with Aaron Rodgers, the main goal is to win over the top. As I see Richard Sherman in front of me, Darrelle Revis, I'm like, okay, let me give him something. I'm trying to get over the top. Once I know, bruh stayed over the top, he's solid. My eyes instantly come back to Aaron Rodgers because I already know Aaron Rodgers is about to put this ball back shoulder. He's thinking the same thing I'm thinking, back shoulder, right? You didn't win over the top right now. Get your eyes back. Even if you are even with the DB, don't worry about, like a lot of people stack him, get on. With Aaron, don't even worry about stacking. If you're even with him, I'm finna put this ball outside shoulder. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that him and Davante got right now. When Davante, hey, I want them cleats. I want them. They got that.
I want some inside information, though, the back shoulder, because that is something that Davante does really well. Is it a called back shoulder in the huddle, or is it something that Davante and Aaron can just
talk
do
to it? Because I think, let's talk to it. Because I think it's better. The viewers.
I ain't my coffee yet.
That's coffee.
We used to call it Acho, you know what I mean?
My jammed up a couple times.
My jeans tight, too, so it's all good. All right, so listen, right?
Look at the jeans, though.
Aaron is there. Aaron is there, all right? Your press coverage. My first job is to win over the top. So I'm trying to win over the top.
And if you win over the top,
ball down there. Right. Now, the corners do a really good job, so they want to stay over the top of you, right? So as I release right here like this, if I'm like this in there, I'm already knowing ball coming back shoulder. I ain't even really got to look now.
Get around yard.
I ain't even got to look. About 10 yards down the field, my eyes get around. But playing with Aaron so much, when you watch Mike and them, they go like this. Ain't no need for that. Ain't no need for that. I know when Aaron's throwing. So now with me, I'm
eyes.
Got it. You know what I'm saying? I know when the ball's
What
coming.
happens? So you showed if he wins deep, but if you come up, it's there. What happens if they're even? Because that's what I'm saying.
If they're even, Aaron's not throwing it over the top. I know that in my mind. So that's what I'm saying. That's the little stuff that Mike and the other ones, Garrett Wilson, don't know. Because Mike and them, if you're even, a lot of times you're trying to fight to get over. No.
The DB can push you out.
So with me, Davante, when I'm even right here and you're even, and I'm just falling off in his back shoulder.
Yo, but look, what about real quick?
I'm the DB.
So the quarterback. No, hold on, take one side.
Okay.
I need you to help me out with this real quick. So when the DB's doing this that third one, what the hell are these? What's on TV, man? You a master, man. This is a facility, dog.
Hey.
This is not practice for real.
So when I was down there
not game
and I
day,
get my
man.
wardrobe, they say we need to make sure we reach all the audience.
I gotta call his wife because this is not acceptable, man. What the heck is going on?
You are
Hey,
crazy, dog.
for clarity, I did get the revelation. Shady, you were 2-5 versus Aaron Rodgers. Both wins were with the Tampa Bay Bucks, actually.
That's not true.
What?
Oh, he didn't play one of.
Wins were with
Oh, I mean, well, look.
James just walked off the set.
He played for Green Bay.
James, why you laughing?
He played for Green
laughing
Bay.
because-
Well, look. Check some Green Bay stats out.
Hey, facial expressions, Jerry. You said you was 2-5 against Aaron Rodgers.
I hope we zoomed in on
But
it.
time out. He doing all this laughing. I played against James Jones.
Did you? I beat you in the playoffs and won the Super Bowl. On the road.
you did beat
Yes, I
me.
did.
He got you,
Yes,
yeah.
I did.
What's your last
And I
name,
caught a
though?
touchdown on y'all.
He did.
Yeah.
I gave him like one.
Yeah, he did.
I gave him like 153 though. 153 like 2 times. You know that? Yeah, you know that. He see me in the end zone doing this.
So you kept your team in the game.
Nah,
a little bit.
I ain't gonna lie. Yo, I gotta be real though. Aaron Rodgers was the greatest regular season quarterback we've ever seen.
Regular season. You see what he did there?
Hey,
Yeah, the
it's
tag
like he
with
needed
that.
Tom Brady to beat you, bro.
That's it. That's all they did.
You know when Tom played him, you know what happened with that.
That's what you
Hey,
did.
good job. Good job, Aaron. Yeah, see you next year.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.